Have you ever listened to a jazz tune and noticed how it begins with a memorable melody, then moves into exciting, spontaneous musical conversations, only to return to that familiar melody at the end? This journey perfectly illustrates the core difference between a jazz head and a solo. Simply put, the jazz head is the main, often pre-composed melody of a song, while a jazz solo is an improvised section where musicians spontaneously create new melodies and ideas over the song's underlying chord progression. The head serves as the foundational structure and identity of a jazz piece. It is typically played at the beginning and end of a performance, often in unison or harmony by the melodic instruments, acting like the theme song for the jazz composition. Its purpose is to present the tune's primary musical idea, allowing listeners to immediately recognize the piece. In contrast, the solo sections are where individual musicians take turns showcasing their creativity and technical skill. This is the heart of jazz improvisation, where artists express themselves freely, reacting to the band and the moment, crafting unique melodic lines that have never been played before and will likely never be played exactly the same way again. To easily tell them apart, start by listening for the opening statement of the song. If you hear a clear, recognizable melody played by the saxophone, trumpet, or piano, often with other instruments accompanying it, you are likely hearing the head. As the piece progresses, an individual musician will typically step forward, playing lines that sound more spontaneous and less like a written melody, often exploring new scales and rhythms. This is the solo. The harmonic structure, meaning the chord changes, remains consistent throughout both sections, but the melodic content is what truly shifts. An interesting nuance in jazz is how these elements sometimes blur. For example, a particularly iconic solo might be so influential that other musicians learn to play it note for note, almost treating it like a secondary head. Also, in some contemporary jazz, the head itself might be highly complex or abstract. Keep an ear out for practices like trading fours, where soloists take turns improvising 4/4-bar phrases, passing the creative torch back and forth. This demonstrates a deep level of musical conversation that goes beyond just playing a melody. Understanding the roles of the head and the solo unlocks a deeper appreciation for the artistry of jazz. It allows you to enjoy both the familiar anchor of the composition and the thrilling, in-the-moment creativity of the performers. By recognizing these distinct parts, you can better follow the musical narrative, appreciating how structure and freedom beautifully intertwine to create the magic of jazz music.